Okay, so let's start today. So the last session we discussed about like how to connect to ESXi. So whenever like if you have ESXi on your network, you may have multiple ESXi. And whenever if you want to do any configuration, if you want to connect or if you want to do any administration on the ESXi, so suppose we are sitting remotely somewhere. So over the network, we have to connect to our ESXi. And once you connect with the help of a browser, we are connecting. You get a session, then we can do our task. Okay, so task may be to create a virtual machine, task may be to create a virtual switch, or task may be to configure certain policies or something. It could be anything. Okay, so that means from here, from the network, we are connecting to the ESXi and we are doing all the administration part. Okay, so normally like the question comes, connecting to one by one ESXi is not very easy for administrator to remember, all the time, like what we are doing on a particular ESXi to configuring virtual machine or something. So the last time what we have done, we have configured the vCenter. Okay. So this will be our vCenter. Okay. So instead of connecting to one by one ESXi, so now as an administrator, we'll be connecting to ESXi vCenter, and this vCenter will be getting the connectivity to all types of ESXi. Whatever the ESXi you have, now we are connecting all the ESXi. So instead of remembering all the IPs and all the name of ESXi, just you have to connect to the vCenter, and from vCenter we manage all our ESXi, we manage all the networking part. We are going to configure all the storage part. Okay. So vCenter, as I told you, is like one application designed to centralize all your virtualization network. Okay. So last time, what actually we have done, we just install the vCenter application. So after the installation, what we need to do, how we need to add this ESXi, and how to connect all the ESXi to the vCenter, and how we can make data center, and how we can able to do the clustering, how we can able to configure the virtual machine. Okay, so from here our virtualization concept started. Okay, so one more time I'll try to show you like how we are connecting to ESXi. So we just open a browser. Why? Because we are running all ESXi in our network. So I just open a browser. So the IP of my ESXi, https://192.168.57.61. This is my first ESXi. When you press enter, now it will directly forward a request to my ESXi. Then from here you have to go with advanced. Then you get a session. So here I have to use the name of ESXi. Put a password. Now you can log into your ESXi. Okay. So that means I have connected to which ESXi? Only one particular ESXi. Here I can able to make a virtual machine. Here I can see all the configuration. Okay. So that means in a network, imagine if you have hundreds of ESXi, then if I want to manage one more ESXi, then I have to write one more URL. Okay. HTTP colon, then 192.168.57.62. Then I hit enter. Then again, I have to go with this. Okay. So one by one, it's not possible for administrator, to connect. And the main drawback here is, suppose if I close one of the screen. Okay. So what will happen here? Again, if I open a browser, again, we have to connect again. Okay. So everything is not available easily. Okay. So that means when you talk about easy administration, so it's not easy administration for the admin. Okay. So what we do now, we actually install one application with that application name, we call it as vCenter. Okay. So instead of connecting one by one all the ESXi, so now we just connect to our vCenter. From the vCenter, we are going to we plan to make our own network. In that network, we try to create our data center. In that data center, we try to add all the ESXi. Then later on, whatever the networking part we are going to see. So everything we are going to configure one by one. So first thing is we have to know the IP of vCenter. So HTTP S colon 192.168.57.65. This is my vCenter IP. So you can see this is my vCenter IP. So I'm not connecting to one by one ESXi. So directly I'm connecting to my vCenter. So when if I hit enter, so whenever you try to connect to any website which is not secure, you can go advanced and proceed to 65. So it will directly give you this page. Okay, but you cannot get this page when you say launch vSphere client HTML5. So my request, try to contact to my vCenter. Okay, first of all, the machine where I'm sitting. See, this is my laptop. I'm sitting on my this is my physical machine where that application I install on a virtual machine. Okay, if I'm sitting directly here, I can able to open direct page of my vCenter. Okay, but now over the network, I have connected. I'm connecting from my physical machine. Okay, so normally you will get this kind of error. You cannot connect direct unless until the machine is a part of your domain. The machine, it is a part of the network, which is actually we configure. Okay. So when I go the properties of this computer, and let me show you why, because I have not done any setting here. Okay. We have to do from the beginning. So this is a computer which is actually in a work group. Okay. But I'm going to connect to the vCenter, which is a part of a corporate network. Okay. So anybody who want to connect to the vCenter or ESXi, so the main thing what we need now, you need to you have to do the configuration of your DNS server. Okay. So by default, you will be getting this error. So even like if you do practice and if you get this error, don't confuse and no need to worry. So here we have a problem for the DNS. So what we need to do, whatever DNS that we are using in our network, means we created our virtual network where you have domain controller, you have all the ESXi, you have all, vCenter. So whatever DNS you are using, so that DNS IP you need to mention on your physical computer. Okay, but physical computer, when you talk about like physical machine, if you open your LAN card, so here you can see there are multiple LAN cards. Okay, so the server where I'm sitting, this is my physical server where two physical LAN cards are available. And when I install my VMware application, I got this VMware adapter. Okay, so normally don't do any changes on your physical machine when you do the test purpose. Like we are actually performing our nested lab. That means don't do anything. This is the LAN card where I'm getting internet. This is my physical IP. I got this IP from my router 172.16. This is my physical IP from where I'm getting internet on this server. Okay. So what we need to do here. So first thing is you have to see what settings you're using. You have already configured this. Just go the settings of virtual machine and see what kind of network setting you're using. So here what we are using, network adapter. That means we are using NAT. So whenever if you install any when you install this VMware application on a computer, so that VMware automatically gets this kind of virtual adapter. Okay, one of the adapter, it is reserved for bridge. One of the adapter is for the custom, and we also have something called VMnet 8. This is for the NAT purpose. Okay, so remember VMnet 8 is the NAT. Or if you have still confusion, you can see the settings also. Okay, you just go edit and you can go virtual network editor. And here you can see I have multiple options. VMnet 0, this is for my bridge. VMnet 1, that is for my host only. Even I also have a rack here. So forget about this rack, we are not using. And VMnet 8, this is for my NAT. Okay. So that means the virtual machine which I created, okay, all the virtual machine, it is actually a part of my NAT. NAT is a default. So if you're using NAT, that means if I want to give communication from this, virtual machine to the physical computer, you have to use this virtual adapter, that is VMnet 8. Instead of this, suppose if you are using a bridge, okay, if you are using your custom, you may even have custom option here. So instead of NAT, suppose if you are using your own custom adapter, something, okay. So that means again you have to use that particular. Suppose you are using your VMnet 1. Based on that, you have to put the IP address. Okay, so remember this, very, very useful setting. So I'll be using NAT. I just go the properties, and here just go the properties and see already IP have given 192.168.57.1. That is my router IP. And here you can see on the DNS I have given 150. So in my previous class I have given this. So now what I'll do, I'll change to 60. 60 is my DNS server IP. So I'll say okay and I'll close. So once you put the IP of your DNS, automatically it will try to resolve. Now I just refresh. It will try to contact. Now you can go advanced and you can proceed to vcenter.wipro.com. That is our vCenter IP. Okay, now we get a page. Okay, so if you compare between like old and the new version, okay, see the complete background has been changed. Okay, if you install 6.5, if you install 6.0, that VMware graphics were different, and from 6.7 now VMware has he has given some new graphics. So this is completely changed actually. Okay, so previously we got a screen some dark colors and something. So from in VMware 6.7 we have these small changes. Now who are you? So what shall I do here? So if you remember, like when we install vCenter, at the time of installing that application, we have given one administrator and password. Anybody remember? So here I'm not giving the name and password of our domain. Okay. So here I'm giving the information that we have already given at the time of installing the vCenter application. Okay. So the name is administrator @ suppose if you have given vSphere .local, give it local, or else maybe I have given the name wipro.com, and put a password. What was the password you have given? So that means first time we are connecting to vCenter, means after the installation, this is the first time we are connecting to our vCenter application. Okay, but in a company, you already have predefined network. In that vCenter, you already have your ESXi, you already have all the setup. You have to understand that. Administrator, separate, Wipro, Wipro.com. Okay, now, so this is the first time we connected. Okay, now as admin, what we need to do here? So first, it will show you the summary. In summary, it will try to show you like how many virtual machines, how many hosts. Host means we are talking about our ESXi. Okay. So right now, just we install. This is completely nothing. We don't have anything. Okay. Completely empty, we can say. When you go monitoring, when you go configuration, nothing. Okay. So that means once you install your vCenter, so the first step you have to add multiple ESXi. So that ESXi we are going to represent as a host. Okay. But before we add ESXi into our environment, so you have to make your own data center. Okay. So simply, I'm going to right click on my vCenter, and first step you have to make a data center. Okay. This is important. Okay. So data center means like in that data center, you can have all your ESXi hosts. In that ESXi host, you can have your virtual machine. In that ESXi, you may have all your policies. In those ESXi, you may have all your settings. Okay. So first, you have to make your data center. So whatever the name you want, you can make. Okay. So let me give a name, Wipro data center. So this is the top of our hierarchical order. On that, now you just right click, and from here you have to start adding all your ESXi. Okay. So n number of ESXi you have to add it. Okay. So one by one, you have to add only one time. Okay. So that means like whenever you connect to the vCenter, whatever the ESXi you connected, everything you can able to manage. So first you have to click this, add ESXi host. So you can connect by name or you can connect with your IP. Okay. So what do you want? So you want the name or you want the IP? Okay. You can put name or as well as you can also put the IP. Okay. But see, the machine where I'm sitting, that is depend. So name will be better. So we have ESXi, and I don't know the name. So what I do? Why? Because almost like before 1 week we have given. So I just go here. So here you can see the name of our ESXi is ESXi-1. So ESXi-1, that is my first ESXi. Next. Then he's saying like, who are you about? So here you have to give a credential only one time. Next. Okay. The next thing is asking for, the certificate store of vCenter, cannot verify the certificate. Okay. So we are not using any certificate for any authentication here. So you can say yes. So review for the host. Review in the sense, he's saying like, who is this vendor? Name, okay, what the model and version, okay. So the version we are using for the ESXi is 6.7, and how many virtual machines? Nothing. That is completely empty. Next, then he is asking about the licensing, okay. So we don't have any license. Still, we are using evaluation mode. That is for the 60 days version, okay. And even we try to put the license. I have some dummy license here. You can see maybe I'll try to show you like how we can put a license. Yeah, okay. Here I have some keys. It's a dummy, not the production purpose. I got from internet. So we are using the evaluation, no problem. Now the next option, we have something called lockdown mode. Okay, even complete world lockdown, same thing here. Okay. Now to understand this, first of all, we have to understand like you have your ESXi. Let's say this is our ESXi. So this ESXi, if I want to connect, so obviously like we are connecting remotely. So what are the ways we are using for connecting to this ESXi? I mean, like I want to manage this. I want to use this ESXi over the network. Okay. So that means I'm connecting to this ESXi. So what kind of ways we have to connect? Do you think like we are connecting only from the vCenter, or we have any other method? No, we are talking about the ESXi. See, right now we are talking about the ESXi. So first of all, we need to understand here, like how many ways we have to connect ESXi. Okay, based on that, we can understand this thing easily. Okay. Now, the first method, let's say I have a machine, means maybe I have a laptop. I open a browser, I put URL. With that, I'm connecting. Okay, that is called web method, web client method. Okay, with the help of a browser. Okay. Now, one of the methods previously we used to have. Okay, on this computer we can install one application. The name of the application we have vSphere client. Sorry, spelling is wrong. vSphere client, web client we can say. Okay. So the first method, either you can connect directly with the help of a URL, that is called web client, or you can even connect with the help of vSphere client. That is from the application you can connect. Okay. One of the methods we also have, we can also use SSH. Okay. There is a software from Putty. Okay. That means by using Putty also we can able to connect over ESXi. Okay. And even I can also connect from my vCenter. Okay. Now what will happen, like what is a lockdown mode say? If you like when you enable lockdown mode, prevent remote users from logging directly into this host. Okay, the host will only accessible through a local console or authorized centralized management application. Okay, so suppose if you disable means now if you say disable, so this ESXi either you can connect from browser, we can able to connect from your vSphere web client. Okay, but this is outdated. Actually, we are not using. So previously we can connect. You can able to connect with the help of Putty. You can also connect from vCenter, and also you can even sit on direct physical screen, that is called DCUI mode. You can also use. Then the option is disabled. That means you can connect with the help of many methods. Okay. But suppose if you say normal, if you select this option, okay, what will happen? Now the host is accessible only through the local console, or we can access with the help of vCenter. Okay, either you can connect with the help of a URL local console, or you can also connect only from the vCenter. Okay, or else if you say strict, this host only access only through the vCenter only. Even you cannot use direct console. Okay, that means DCUI mode also you cannot able to use it. Right now, let's say this is our DCUI mode. Not power off. If I select strict, that means even I cannot use this ESXi directly sitting on ESXi. Okay, so don't enable that unless until you have a requirement. Don't do anything. Okay, so we are going to go with the option like disable only. Why? Because sometime maybe I'll be connecting through URL. Sometime I'll be connecting through maybe with the help of vCenter. Don't know. Okay, so I'll make it disable only. Next, and this is our data center. Yes, you can, but you have to connect only through the vCenter first. You cannot connect direct. Okay, you cannot use any other local session. Next, so the next option we have like where you are adding this host. So this host we are adding to our Wipro data center. Next, and this is your complete summary. So the name of my ESXi1, Wipro data center, everything. So licensing, which I'm using evaluation mode here. So finish. Yes, yes, everything is going to mention here. Like whatever the process you do, all the process information it will show, whether it's failed or maybe success. Now it's completed. Now that host is added here. Okay. Now same thing, I have another one. I just go and I add one more. Like this, whatever you have, you can add it. ESXi2. No, no, no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we call it as host D. Host D again. So the agent which is going to work background in ESXi we call host D agent, or we can say like from vCenter agent we have VPXA. Okay. So host D is something like a service which is responsible for a remote connection. Host D is nothing but like a service which is responsible for remote connection in ESXi. What? Don't have a license, disable mode. we can add one more. ESXi 3. Name root. Password is whatever the password you want, you can put it. So now when you go to your data center, you have all the information like how many hosts are there. Okay. So right now it's showing only one host. Now I'll refresh. Okay. From here you can refresh. Okay. So now we can see you have total 3 hosts. How many virtual machines? I don't know. Why? Because we don't have any virtual machine. Okay. So let's say suppose I try to create a virtual machine just for dummy purpose. You know, in detail we discuss in coming classes. So I'm not selecting anything. So now when you refresh, see, that is not created actually, just added. So here it will try to show you like one virtual machine is available. So that virtual machine is available here. Okay, you can go direct virtual machines here. So here it show you like if you double click or if you just click, it directly show you like in which ESXi is available. Okay, all the details. Okay, so from here you can power on, you can do that. So here you have total information like how many RAM it's using and the complete utilization it gives you. Okay. So the coming very important part which we are going to learn, that is the complete configuration we do with this configured. And that means the coming session, like when we try to perform all our tasks, that is with the help of this, configured. Okay. It may be like storage, it may be our networking part. Okay. So till now, like we have done all the basic part of ESXi. Okay. So from tomorrow we start our networking. Okay. So before you come tomorrow, okay. So try to understand something related to NICA. Okay. And why? Because like when you talk about networking, in networking, the most important part is NICA. How the traffic is coming to your network and how the traffic is exists on your network. Okay, that is completely based on the NICA. Okay, so the way you have knowledge on the NICA, it's very easy to understand the networking part.